Good morning. It has been such a long road getting to this place. This balcony was the very first thing that I started working on with Alessio and his team. This is where I learned everything. This was the first time that I tied rebar. This was the first project that I ever properly mixed concrete with a team. This was the first time I learned how to shape stone, and we built this whole place out of the stone that we harvested from the property, hand shaping every single stone. And not only that, but this project was the first time I ever learned how to weld. And well, all of it's coming together now. And today we're finally putting the cherry on top and finishing this balcony. Take one last good look, because this entire space is about to transform.
Nero? Okay.
Right now we're working to get our pattern set. This is the pattern that we used in the rest of the house. But man, just look how gorgeous these tiles are. There's so much character to these tiles. We're also trying to figure out like the spacing. This is 2 millimeter, and I think it needs to be a little bit smaller personally. It's gonna be a huge change, but I think once the tile is in, the color, this color against the chestnut, against the stone, it's gonna be stunning.
Essendoci due pendenze, loro gli è uscito sto gioco qua o no? Per forza.
All right, so obviously the first few hours is always about prep work, no matter what job you're doing. But with tile work, it really matters. You really need to make sure your site is completely clean, not even just the speck of dust, because if you have a little bit of concrete, that can get into the mix and crack the tile. And we're also adding on these unique profile pieces on the edge of the balcony. This will help rain to run off into the gutter and go from the tile straight to the gutter without dripping down the wall whatsoever. All right, so it's our last chance to make sure that everything is fully waterproofed. This edge, we want to put another bead of silicone. This is basically tar in a caulk tube. It's really fancy stuff, very good. But we want to make sure that this is silicone properly, so it's the last chance. I will never get over just how beautiful hearing those church bells are off in a distance, and that's what this is all about. This is where I have my morning coffee. Heather and I sit out here every single day with a cup of coffee, looking off at the distance, listening to those morning bells, and to see this whole place come together today and to put that cherry on top of this tile work and to have this space be finished, be able to put, furniture out here and rugs and whatnot, and to have it all tied together. Can't wait for the very first morning of enjoying this view with this space being finished. All right, so while he's prepping upstairs, I'm gonna do the last little bit of prep on these stairs. This fascia trim piece, whatever this thing is called, it runs just a little bit too high on the steps, and we need that tile to come completely flush over top of it so that when it rains, the water runs over, down, and off of this. So just need to cut all of these off just a little bit. See, that's the kind of precision that if I was working by myself, I would just skip past. Just get the tile down and worry about the water flowing off properly later. But see, that's why with a tile job, you just have to trust a professional. Like, he's thinking of absolutely every detail that 100% would have skipped right over.
Good morning. Today is a very big day. I'm really excited to see how the balcony is going to turn out. It is going to be kind of a crazy day. I'm going to try to stay out of everyone's way as much as I can, but first we need a coffee.
Right. Grazie mille.
There is so much measuring and maths going on and trying different designs and moving things around and making sure that everything lines up just nicely. He's taking a lot of precision and care with his project, to be honest, and making sure that we don't end up with small little bits on the corners that don't look very nice. And I'm just going to leave him to it, go back inside and do a job that I should have done a long time ago. There are so many jobs like this that, well, quite frankly, are just very boring, and I just easily put them off indefinitely. But then every time I walk by, it's like, oh man, I really need to get to that. I really need to fix that. So just slowly, need to start checking them off my list. So trying to seal up all of these cracks between the window seats that we made recently and the holes that we cut into the walls. So to get this seam to go away, I think I'm gonna have to use a combination of silicone and mix up some more drywall putty and fill in the really big cracks, but I'm gonna see how far I can get away with just using silicone, because that's just, you know, a lot easier. There we go. Now that's satisfying.
Vedo già su un'altra mano, anche se molle non è.
Non lo so.
No.
Sto imparando oggi. So we've already done the waterproofing for this entire roof. There starts off with a layer of tar paper, then plastic, cement on top of that to protect it, then Nanoflex, which is this material that he's putting on down now. But it's been a good year and a half or so since we've done the Nanoflex. We just want to make sure that everything is sealed up properly, because as it's exposed to the sun with UV rays and all of that, it's just better to put on one final coat of Nanoflex, because I mean, this house is being built to last for hundreds of years, and this is your only chance to make sure it's waterproof. See, with a traditional roof, maybe something like we're used to in America, well, you might be inspecting it every 15 years or so, or redoing it every 15 years, but this needs to be done properly once and for all. So just to be safe, we're going through the extra step of one more coat of Nanoflex. So it's really only the balcony that needs the Nanoflex. But I'm going to paint it on the transition between the stairs and the wall, just to give that waterproof barrier, because we've been having problems with water entering the house. That's why previously I built up this little concrete area, so that it'll accept the Nanoflex and stop the water from coming in. All right, a little bit of a break cooling down inside. It's been a bit of a warm one this summer, but I thought I'd take a brief minute to remind you guys about the importance of protecting your personal data online and to tell you about today's video sponsor, Delete Me. Delete Me is a hands-free data removal service that removes your personal information from hundreds of data brokers and people's search sites, reducing the risk that your personal information ends up in the wrong hands. We've been entrusting Delete Me for over 2 years now to make sure that our personal information doesn't get spread around the internet or sold off to the highest bidder. All of the spam phone calls going around and the phishing email attempts not only are just so annoying, but they also put you at risk of identity theft and scams. And to me, that's where a service like Delete Me comes in, as the best line of defense, in my opinion, is to make sure they can't get to your personal information to begin with. When you sign up for Delete Me, within 7 days, you'll get a privacy report that shows where all of your personal information is left public, and then Delete Me goes to work having this information removed. When we first got our privacy report, there were hundreds of listings of our personal information being spread around the internet, and I might have been able to individually call them all and ask nicely to have it removed, but obviously we did not do that, as it's just so much easier to entrust Delete Me to handle it for us. If you guys want to also join Delete Me, you can go to joindeleteme.com/Voyagers to get 20% off your first purchase, or you can scan the QR code on screen right now, or simply enter the coupon code Voyagers at checkout. But with that, thank you so much to Delete Me for sponsoring today's video.
All right, so I've been really into trying to find some good healthy recipes that are like sweet treats, but good for you. It's my new passion because we've been trying to eat more whole foods, and you know, sometimes it's hard to find those things that make you feel good at the end of the day, and you just want a little sweet treat, but you want it to still be healthy. So I've made these many times before, but they're kind of like granola balls, we call them. They're little bite-sized granola bars, basically. And so it's basically honey, peanut butter, oats, and chocolate chips. But I found these at the grocery store, puffed quinoa. And so I've never seen these in the States, but probably at like Trader Joe's or something they would have them. But these are the best addition. I'm so excited about this because it really adds a lot of texture and flavor. So that's what I'm making today. So all of this is super healthy, super good for you. The peanut butter in Italy is one of my favorite things because there's absolutely no sugar. It's just basically peanuts and salt, which is what you want in your peanut butter. Oh no! They use grams. But I just realized my scale is set to milliliters because I was measuring liquids yesterday. I didn't switch it back from grams. So this is going to be messed up. But that's okay. It's all part of the process. I'm not sure what to do right now to adjust it. But
How does a food scale measure milliliters?
It's just knowing
That's
it's in liquid.
volume.
I don't know, honey. That's
that's really strange.
That's just what it is. Hold on. We'll see how this turns out. Really, there's not a wrong way to do it. All you have to do is mix peanut butter, honey, oats. So I start with the oats, then I add in the peanut butter, and then you're having honey. And as long as you get the texture right, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be super precise.
So one thing that Heather just, loves about me is anytime she makes something, cooks, she asks me how it is, and I tell her.
He always gives me criticism.
I was like, I could use a little bit more salt or a little bit more butter, or, I tell her what I think.
I don't really want to know. I want you to be like, that's the most delicious thing I've ever eaten in my life.
Yeah, I know.
So,
I know. When I try these granola bars, though, what did I say? They're the absolute best granola bars I've ever had in my life, hands down.
Yeah.
The best part is the puffed quinoa, which who would have known? That's really weird.
So good, though.
But they're completely healthy, and they're the best I've ever had.
It is quite the messy process. But after you get them all rolled into balls, then you just put them in the fridge and let them cool for like half an hour, maybe 45 minutes to an hour. I like to keep them in the fridge all the time so we don't leave them out. They'll kind of get melty, but they're best if they're cold right out of the fridge. You can also freeze them if you're not going to eat them right away, but we always eat them very quickly, so we never have to freeze them.
They are a crowd pleaser.
They are a crowd pleaser for sure.
All right, so while I was inside, turns out he actually decided to cover the entire stairs with the NanoFlex. It certainly does make me feel a lot better, making sure that water 100% can't go through these stairs now, and it will protect the wood underneath it. But he also said that it acts as a better grip to grip onto the tile, which I didn't realize. He says it grips better than gluing the tile straight to the concrete. I don't know if that's because the concrete dries out the mortar too fast, especially when it's this hot out, or what it is, why that is, but he's the professional, so I'm going to trust him. Tell you what, it's really, really amazing working with a true professional that is not just super passionate about their work and making sure that everything is precise and really taking pride in their work, but also someone who just makes the job super fun. But naturally, this NanoFlex does take about 24 hours to dry, so we're going to start laying the tile tomorrow. Well, good morning. Bit of a rough night of sleep, not gonna lie. My brain was just turning with all of these ideas for life. And I had a decaf coffee at a restaurant last night, and you know, I just have the suspicion that it wasn't actually decaf. But nevertheless, I'm very thankful that Christian is showing up today because he brings the good vibes and the energy to pick me up and to get to work. And today, we're gonna start smashing out this tile. So Christian came last night while I was gone, once this was dry enough to walk on, and he started pre-cutting a lot of these tiles, and man, just to see this pattern right here, I just absolutely love it. It's the same pattern that we did in the entire house here, and now that we've pre-cut a few of them, it's going to start flying together. So while I myself don't enjoy doing super precise work like this, it is very enjoyable to watch a professional at work and to watch how meticulously everything goes together and to learn. Today, my job is as the bocha, which means the grunt laborer or the person who just goes and mixes everything or brings tiles and all of that. And it's a great way to be able to contribute, but also to be able to be here present and watch him and just learn. So, you know, maybe someday I can do it myself. All right, so he's working on a long section that I'm fairly useless in, can't really help that much. So I'm gonna start processing up some lumber and working on a kitchen project this time, which Heather will be very pleased. It might not be the project in the kitchen that she wants, but it's the project that I'm interested in doing right now. So that's what we're gonna work on. So I think today's project is going to be all about using up all of these end pieces and scrap pieces, and honestly, all of the boards that I even was saving for like cutting boards and whatnot, all of the scrap pieces. We're going to make this beautiful collage of something cool on the cabinets. Just stay with me and you'll see. I've got so much scrap material in here. All of this, all of these offcuts. This is all beautiful walnut, not very well organized, obviously. But today I'm going to use up the majority of this, I would assume, on this one little collage of a project.
È stata una buona idea.
Alright, so now that everything is down through the thickness planer down to an even 2 centimeters, I need to strip them into 4 centimeters before I can start installing everything. First, I want to go check on the tile. Molto bello. Giusto bello. Vuoi caffè?
Ma sì, dai.
Sì.
Ma stamattina no.
Hello. So here's my idea.
Okay.
We're gonna do a chevron pattern of walnut on that cabinet right there.
Yes.
Do you like it?
I like it.
Probably not exactly the kitchen project you would have preferred, but
I am excited for cabinet doors, but I'm glad.
it is at least a kitchen project. I think it's gonna be really cool. It's gonna be like, it's gonna take a little bit of just trust me here. Ignore all of that.
Please.
I'm really not feeling motivated to do doors yet, and I try to follow you know, motivation sometimes. It helps a little bit. But why is there a minion on our counter?
So I might have a problem. Bradey actually started the problem. We've been doing a lot of movies this summer because we love going to the movies as a family. There's something really special about going to the movies in a country that's not, like, doesn't speak your native language and going to a movie in English there. It's really, really special. Anyway, this is a popcorn bucket. You know how I need to clean it. There's like a little bit of crumbs in there. I need to clean it out, but it's a bit of a weird collection obsession, but it's our theme for the summer is funny popcorn buckets.
Man, what a mess of wood here, but all of this is going to turn into a beautiful centerpiece of the kitchen. Half of 49 and a half is 24 and 3/4. Okay. All right, so the first of what will probably be at least 300 cuts on this project. All right, well, I know I should focus on my own project, but I'm really, really curious to see how he's coming along with the tile. So I know he's gotten past some of the hard cuts, so it should be just flying along. Hey, ciao, quasi metà finito. Bravo. Man, it's beautiful to see it like halfway finished now. Once you get past all of the difficult cuts around the stones, it goes really fast, but now to see the whole pattern come together with the colors and everything and the spacing between the tile, that was a big discussion we had of how tight should we keep the spacing, but I'm glad that we went with as tight of spacing as possible. I can't wait to see it finished. It's going to be just an absolute transformation. I mean, this is definitely going to be one of those projects that really pops once you put the final stain on. I'm going to stain it with a walnut colored stain. And then that's when all of these lines and the real true color is really, really going to pop. I'm just kind of trusting the process until we get to that point. So we've been hiking a lot lately, and I'd say our average hike is around 8 to 9 kilometers, maybe, you know, 450, 500 meters in elevation. So what is that? 1,300 feet? I don't know. Figure it out later. And we were discussing one of the trails that we were going to take the kids on, and we were kind of comparing that trail to a previous trail. What was funny to me is that I checked my phone, and the previous day I had actually walked a further distance and climbed a greater height than that hike just by going up and down the stairs on a project like this, doing the base molding of coming in for one cut, going out, measuring, realizing you got it wrong, doing it over again, going in and out of the house, back and forth. Getting my exercise today. All right, extremely pleased with how this is turning out. I've actually been leaving just a little bit extra air between all of the boards just to add a little bit of contrast, and once I stain this, it's really, really going to pop. Get the new doors on there, all of that. But before I go further, I want to add a little bit of a border right here so that my cuts aren't being shown to the top, just the same way that this is acting as a border right here for the cuts. I'm going to add the same thing up top. Man, I can't get over that tile. It's just absolutely stunning. Looking forward to, sitting out there and properly enjoying it once it's all finished. But man, I'm so thankful to have Christian here. He's so precise and cares so much about getting it right. He's just let me know that it's getting a little bit too hot to do this because the mortar needs to set off properly. So he's like doing everything that's in the shade and avoiding the sun. And he's probably gonna knock off until tomorrow morning to make sure that the mortar is setting off properly. The last piece. Beautiful. Come check it out.
Okay. Oh my goodness.
I'm quite pleased with that. Once I get the nail holes filled and put the stain on it, it's just going to be incredible.
I love it so much.
The plan is to carry that same pattern to those two uppers right there, to the same chevron pattern. Doing that in a door is going to be a little bit tricky. I'm going to have to figure that out. But later on, I'm going to build a walnut bench right here. Or not a bench, like a seat with like a Turkish rug pillow on top of it. I think that would be a really nice pop of color there.
Yeah, I love that idea.
But hey, very pleased.
It looks even better than I pictured. That's really nice.
All right, Christian has left for the day, which means it's gotten a little bit too warm for that glue or the mortar to set off properly. Anxious to see how far he's gotten. He's speechless. Honestly, it's better than inside the house.
It's so good. I was so worried that it would be too much of that kind of color out here. No. It's perfect. It just looks so much more homey.
See, I know Heather. Right now she's picturing, I could put a rug there and a potted plant and over there there'll be a chair. And
Oh yeah, I'm like, I cannot wait to get this balcony fully finished where there's no more work being done up here.
This balcony has always been the heart of the home, always will be. And
oh my goodness.
it's also been the center of all work. It's been the place that we've always done all of our work from the very beginning. It's always been here. So to finally have the last step, just I think 3 or 4 more days and it'll be completely finished. Set up some chairs and that rug that Heather wants and all of that. And man, it's going to be awesome. I'm really nervous to say it because we've been going back and forth on the design for the cabinets. And we're going to do this 2-tone cabinet design, which is going to need a lot of faith in us.
People might think we're crazy.
Yeah.
So we of course love the look of the walnut, and we want to have little accents of the walnut throughout the kitchen, but I do really like a nice dark green with it in the cabinets. So I think it's going to turn out really good.
Green.
It's not going to be camouflage green. It's going to be like a deep, rich, beautiful green. Well, we're going to play with it. When she told me green the
first time, I thought she was crazy. Until she showed me a picture.
Maybe we could put up a mock image.
But the contrast between walnut and this green actually
it's really
is
pretty.
Very beautiful. Okay. This color?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I like it.
Because it's like, you got one shot. I think it matches the beams pretty good. It matches that, which all need to be cleaned up a little bit. But
it's really pretty.
All right, here we go.
I like it a lot. Let's do it. It's really, really looking good. Oh my goodness.
I'll take a step back and look once I'm done focusing.
Oh, it's really, really looking nice. All of these little details just make me fall even more in love with this house. It's such a beautiful place, and even in the raw, undone bits, it's still an amazing place to be. But all of these finishing touches really, really make me just love it that much more.
Christian said something nice today, the tilist. He said that he goes to all houses all over the place, everywhere, and he said that he's never been to a nicer house in this entire valley.
Aww,
really
that's so sweet. I love that.
Well, good morning. It's going to be another really big day today. Christian is already back on site bright and early working on the tile. I believe we're going to get the entire balcony finished by the end of today. And for me, feeling a little bit more inspired to get back into the kitchen after yesterday's progress. It's just all of the work in there is so tedious and boring and annoying, but it needs to get done. And Heather does deserve to have a more put together kitchen, so back in the kitchen today. Ow. You need help? All right, so somebody changed the kitchen design on me.
We did that together. Don't blame me.
Fine, we did that together. We decided we want to put our microwave here. I always like having a fold-out microwave that sits inside the island. Get it off the countertop, give yourself more countertop space. But we didn't account for that because we forgot. So getting this off without damaging the face frame is going to be really difficult because now this, can't hear myself, this face frame needs to drop by 6 or 7 centimeters. Then we need to place a shelf, and that's it. We've already run power. Just need to make sure I don't mess it up. No, it needs to. Ah, shoot. I did it wrong. I know how to fix it. Okay. Okay. Does it fit? What in the world? That's not right at all. Oh, no. It is right. Because it needs to go like this. Okay. In the entire construction world, of all the jobs there are to do, there's something about doing drawer slides and drawers that just drives me crazy. One, I'm really, really bad at it, so that's part of it. But mostly it's just way too precise and tedious and back and forth and cutting down drawers. And I'm gonna go check on the tile work and at least get some encouragement from that. Man, this is beautiful, but it's also the same type of super precise work. All of these small cuts along here. Glad that I'm not doing it, to be honest.
Nel contesto sta bene.
Per me è troppo preciso. Alright, so several frustrating hours later, and they all work. This one sticks just a little bit, but done. Man, look at that. That's just really transformative. I knew this tile would really transform this balcony, but seeing it in person as far as he's gotten, very, very pleased. It's been a pleasure working with Christian. He's so passionate about his work. Next week, Christian will be back to work on the stairs, getting the tile there, finish up all these little bits and pieces, get the grout in between the tile, get this place all nice and cleaned up. We'll put out furniture and a rug, and this place will be fully finished. But for now, just want to say thank you so much for watching and supporting us, and we'll see you in our next video.
Silent mystery, waiting, patient.